Hello everyone and welcome to Blog on Everything and welcome back to the channel and welcome to another match review for what was a hardened victory from FC Barcelona. Goals coming on the night from Dani, Olmo and Ferran Torres to give Barcelona a 2-0 win away at Las Palmas. That's right, Barcelona was able to beat Las Palmas. You know, we were able to do it against a low block, highly organized type of setup, and as much as I have quite a bit of some complaints to get through here in terms of the officiating, to be completely honest with you, I was otherwise, I think, okay with the result. It was the kind of match you would have expected. Las Palmas didn't really give Barcelona too much to worry about, and you could argue the same as well from Las Palmas' perspective that in that first half in particular, Barca weren't looking too dangerous. You know, there was only like one moment or so where it looked like Barcelona could have gotten in behind it, could have caused some danger, and nothing much came from it. So it was very much up to the two substitutions that Mr. Hansi Flick made. Both goals came from substitutes. Okay, Olmo and Ferran did not start this, but you know, there's probably just a little bit of criticism for some of the players who started, especially the guy wearing the number 9 jersey. I think this was probably one of his worst performances that I've seen from him, which is saying a lot because he's had some pretty terrible performances, especially in the last 3 or 4 weeks. But this one was definitely up there as the worst of them, because I can honestly say he had no effect on the match in any way, shape or form. Like, you could have taken him out of this game and you wouldn't have noticed any difference, which is why it was a bit of a shock that he didn't get subbed off with Athletic coming in midweek. So, you know, you're wondering if that now means that Ferran is going to start during midweek rather than Lewandowski. But, you know, we'll see how all of that goes. It would be nice to see Ferran Torres leading the line. Hopefully he can continue his sharpness in front of goal. And maybe that timeout will be the medicine that Lewandowski needs, because he does honestly need a bit of time off. Anywho, I don't really have that much to say here. This being a match review, I still don't really have much to say. I mean, I did say I have a complaint though, and that had to do with the officiating. And for me today, it just seemed to be of a very low standard. There was so much which the referee was just letting go, and you just kept on wondering. And there were so many instances as well where a Las Palmas player was offside, and you didn't even see the linesman putting up his flag, you know, trying to signal that this guy is offside, and play would go on. And there was one instance, particularly in the first half, where Mikel Mamo even had an opportunity from a corner kick where he could have easily scored, and that happened after Sandro Ramirez took a shot from an offside position. He was completely offside in the build-up to the shot that he took, but the offside wasn't called, so the corner kick stood, and they almost scored from the corner. And once we're done looking at such calls not being made, we then have to talk about all of the fouls that we saw coming from the Las Palmas players in this one. Lamine Yamal in particular was targeted, and I think it's part of the reason he was pulled off. He did look to have taken quite a heavy knock from Basetic. Is that how you pronounce his name? You know, the Liverpool guy who Barcelona, oddly enough, did try to sign in the summer window, but you know, that didn't work out. And it seemed like he decided to set his mind on leaving a mark on the Barca players rather than on the match, because he was really just flying into whatever tackle that he could, and he stomped on quite a few players in more than one occasion. Okay, he did it to Dani, Olmo, did it to Lamine Yamal twice. The second one really leaving a bit of a mark on Lamine. He really felt it, to be quite honest. And there was just no fouls being called here by the ref. So many of these, you know, instances just going on, and it was really to the point where the commentators were like, you know, I know La Liga is trying to stop players from complaining to the referees, but I think maybe the Barca players should complain to the referee. That was literally the commentator, because it was too many instances where players were getting taken out. Rafinha got took out at some point, you know, but there was no free kicks being given, and it was honestly terrible. and it almost came to a head late in the second half when it looked like Las Palmas should have had a penalty. And the only reason why it looked that way, because the linesman just did not put up his flag to call a guy who was offside as offside. And when we saw it from the replays, it was clearly offside. But instead of VAR saying there's no need to look at a penalty incident because the guy was offside, he instead calls the referee over to the monitor to have a look at the incident. So now it looked like the referee was reviewing a possible penalty, when at the end of the day he was also shown a possible offside. And I don't even understand why that decision was left to the referee to make. There is an automatic offside system in La Liga. Why did it not just say, hey, offside, no need to even check the penalty incident? But La Liga refs being La Liga refs, I mean, I already did a whole piece last season talking about La Liga officiating. I'm not going to do that again. You just go and check that out. I don't know where it's going to pop up, but on one of these shoulders of mine, somewhere above, it'll pop up. Anywho, that's the end of my rant. And as far as the refereeing in this match is concerned, I will move on now and just quickly touch on, I guess, the man of the match and the team and manager ratings. Starting with the ratings, I gave the team an 8 out of 10 this time around, just because it was one of those matches where they really did have to dig really deep and to get some goals in some pretty crucial moments. Firstly, the goal from Olmo. By the way, the finish, what a goal that was. That one came at a time when Barcelona really needed a break, and when Yamal was really starting to have his fingerprints on proceedings, and it was good for Barca to get the opening goal. And the second goal came just as Las Palmas was starting to heap pressure on Barca in the dying moments of the match in injury time. I know for some people they're going to look at it and think, hey, it was a garbage time goal from Ferran Torres. Didn't really have that much of an impact on the overall result. But personally, I think it was important because it just completely put a damper on everything Las Palmas was trying to do, and all of that pressure went away. Because don't get me twisted, there was pressure, and they did kind of have some sightings of Szczesny's goal. Who, by the way, Szczesny, good going for him again, kept a clean sheet here. So the team rating, 8 out of 10. Manager rating, similarly, 8 out of 10. Not that much to add. His substitutions did the job. You wonder though why he keeps on forcing Lewandowski to play so many minutes. Hopefully we're going to see a bit more time given to Ferran in future. And aside from that, picking a man of the match, I know La Liga went with Olmo, and I understand why. I am going to be a bit out there, I'm going to go with Alejandro Balde, just because I liked what he did on the pitch the entire 90 plus minutes. Kept Sandro relatively quiet. We remember what happened last time we played Las Palmas, and Sandro literally took Alejandro Balde out on the match. Again, just a crazy tackle, rugby tackle, which he didn't even get booked for. And we had to endure watching Gerard Martin get absolutely murdered by Sandro Ramirez. That didn't happen this time around. Good match from Balde, and I think he's my man of the match. Aside from that, let me know your thoughts in the comments. But thank you for tuning in. Do have a great day, and Forza Barca.